What's up everybody? Welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to have Jon Kuhn on, and we're going to talk about a foundation that he's putting on an event for to raise money for, and it's a great cause. So he's raising money for the Lawrence Township School Foundation. It's a great cause. The guy, Neil, that he's interviewed in some videos he's put together on his channel is just an awesome guy. Sounds like it definitely makes you want to donate. He's a fantastic guy. He sounds like a great character and just a great human being. So anyway, without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, so I'm here with Jon Kuhn. So hey, Jon, what's up?
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me here, man.
Yeah, man. So Jon is raising money for a foundation. I'm gonna let him tell you all about it. The why, the what, the when, where, and how, all that stuff. Sounds really cool. I mean, he posted a video on Instagram that I saw. It was like we were just talking a little bit before this, but with the guy Neil that he's doing a documentary on, and it was you can see how passionate this guy was about what he's raising money for and that Jon's involved with. So Jon, just tell us, what exactly the foundation is, what you're raising money for, and how people can get involved.
So thanks again, Steve. The foundation is called Lawrence Township School Foundation. It is a foundation based on the east side of Indianapolis. My original intent was not to work with the LTSF. They are a great organization, but I kind of just started getting into the world of Neil from my own volunteer work. My son was a student at the school that Neil was at. Okay. When I started using a camera a few years ago and wanted to have a different career for myself. I went and volunteered at the school, and they were doing a weekly event called Family Engagement Nights, where different people from the city would volunteer their time to teach life skills to
that's awesome.
Kids in the community, right? Karate, cooking, financial planning, gardening. And Neil was the man who was like the face of it, who was just kind of like, I could never tell if he was a janitor or a principal or a volunteer, because he was everywhere and he was greeting people at the door. So I just started talking to him, and this is a few years ago, and fast forward to now, I'm starting to understand more of what he does. I'm diving into his world. It's a CIS. He's a community and schools advocate. It's kind of like it's an old school concept, but he's on the leading edge of introducing these older themes into contemporary culture. He is, instead of having people rely on just making money, he's having people try to figure out how to exist in communities.
Oh, nice.
Having gardening centers and people relying on their neighbors versus how now, I don't talk to my neighbors, and that's fine. Yeah. I've got a guy actually we trade eggs with for beer and stuff,
nice.
but that's pretty rare. And in lower income communities, this is vital. If they could figure out how to work together, that's more advantageous than trying to I know when I was living on this side of town, I was driving 40 minutes one way and 40 minutes back to be a server in a restaurant. Sometimes I'd make $30 a day.
Yeah.
It's if I would have been more engaged in a community, I could have helped my neighbors. And so Neil sees this, and he's trying to cultivate this community of people that can better themselves. And I think it's right. So he's a bleeding heart. And the original purpose of what I wanted to do this year was I wanted to film a documentary about Neil, and then COVID happened and everything got crazy. And this summer, I fixate on things. And that's probably why I'm drawn to running. And I found you, sir. It's the mindset of just pushing through and prevailing. You kind of have to be a bit persistent to run long distances. But I kept thinking about Neil, and I was no, I don't care. The world is not going to stop moving. And I reached out to Neil, and I was what have you been up to? I want to film you some more. And he said, well, I've been working. And that was not surprising to me. I went to the school, and he was literally the only one in the building, in July. And he was just loading his cooler full of food, and he was going to a caterer, and he had this old rundown Jeep because he was letting someone else use this fan that he'd given them to help him out. And he's driving around. This dude is hot as hell. This Jeep had no AC in it, and we just got milk, and I'm trying to film, and he's like, you're gonna help me work? And I'm I'm here trying to film you. but that's just what he was doing. I knew that he was working like that, and I originally wanted the concept of what I was filming to be about hustle culture and Instagram and like Gary Vaynerchuk's and Tony Robbins and all these people that you see and like these younger influencers and people that you see that are like glamorizing working and hustling all day every day. And that's cool, no knock to them, but there are people that are hustling like that to like make sure people get fed.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to do like an antithesis of that with Neil, and I did not get enough footage. So towards the end of the year, what I'm doing now is I wanted to run a marathon, and I put that off also because of COVID. So I texted my buddy like 8 weeks ago, and I just said marathon Woods 8 weeks ? And he said yeah. And then I was like, this is another thing where I was like, I'm putting this off too long. I was like, let's film it, let's do a fundraiser, and now I'm talking to you.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So a thing that I wanted to do with the fundraising portion of the running film, because we're going to film this whole thing and we're going to tie the two stories together. A way that I was going to try to self-fund this project was that anyone that donates any money to the GoFundMe for Neil, which will go into an account for the Lawrence Township School Foundation, anyone that donates any money to Neil through that GoFundMe, they can be what's called a fundraising producer, and they can film a clip of themselves 30 seconds to a minute running a 5K, half marathon, whatever you want to run.
Nice. Okay.
This is right. Yeah. It's not like I would like to have more rules with it. And originally I was going to make people pay $100. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, this is too short a notice.
Yeah.
So anyone that wants to participate in something that's a great cause and have an excuse to get out the door one day to run, take the clip, make your donation, whether it's $1, 100, whatever. And then awesome. At the end of the film, as the credits are going, I'm going to have like the video clips of people. I already have some people from like, the internet's crazy, like people from Australia and Canada.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So anybody could go out and do like a 5K, 10K, or somebody could go do a 100-mile race and they could send you a clip.
Right. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
I don't know how that's going to work out in the long run, but just like Neil and with like the running community, and like I've been on this whole like kick of like changing my life. Like I want to cultivate community, and I create places like I say this on my YouTube channel like all the time, like let's get better together.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to refine that. I know like obviously I would talk a lot and I'm all over the place, but I'm trying to like really like hone in the mission.
Well, that's awesome. That sounds like it's such a great cause. So how can people donate? Like you said it's a GoFundMe, is that right?
It's a GoFundMe. And I originally set up a GoFundMe from talking to Neil. Neil is a man that went to school and got a master's in theology, and his like life calling, like he heard the calling of God to go and serve the people. He got into a church and he felt like he was serving the people of the church. And in the interview clip that you saw, he was saying these people, maybe it wasn't in this clip, but nonetheless, during the interview, he's like, these people had everything.
Yeah.
And then he was talking about 48th and Post, which is it's a pretty bad part of town. When I moved into that area and I told my friends that I went there to get like a 6-pack of beer, they're like, why did you go there? Like, I just moved to see. They're like, you're lucky you didn't get shot. But Neil is saying like, you know, the kids at 48th and Post, like if you're not worried about them having a coat and you're not treating them the way you treat your own kids, like then you're not like truly like getting like the word of the Lord, and that's defeating the purpose of like the calling in Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like Neil to me is like Neil Gore is like the real deal. Like he is shirt off my back kind of guy. I've heard people describe him as like Atlas, like the guy that's holding up the weight of the world. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
See it in his face, man. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so down below in the description, I'll have links to the GoFundMe page, also to Jon's YouTube channel. If you haven't already seen Jon, check him out. He's got some awesome videos on his page, great content. He's a phenomenal editor. His stuff, he tells the story very well. I'll just say that. So you can check that out for sure. Any other info you can give about this fundraiser, Neil, or why they should participate?
I think if you are looking for something to feel good about, there is nothing wrong with using this to make yourself feel good. And I say that from personal experience. Like I think we get it in our heads that you shouldn't do something because it makes you feel good, or you shouldn't like really enjoy people telling you that you're doing something righteous. But we're communal species. Like if the group doesn't like you, like when we were when we were like evolving, like you can't beat a lion or a tiger on your own. Like you only do that when you work as a group.
Yeah, right.
So if you're doing things for a cause or for a community and it makes you feel good, or if you're doing things that make you cry when you talk about it to somebody else, like go and do that. So if you feel inclined in any way to like be a part of a fundraising philanthropic film and you want to throw down a donation and like go out and jog or run or whatever, be a part of this project, do it. Or go do something like this. Or if you've listened to me saying this and you think that you've got something you've been sitting on and you want to go and do it, go and do it. And it's okay that it feels good, and like let that motivate you to go and do other things in your life that enrich who you are and enrich your family or your neighbors and all that.
I think one of the things you say on your channel a lot, or at least on your Instagram I see, is you always say action is better than words, or is bigger than words. So like that's totally like, you know, people always say that I want to do something, but they hardly ever do it. So, you know, just take action and do something to help other people and build community. So yeah, that's awesome, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. All right. So I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm just saying, like I'm just thinking like I'm super grateful to know you, and I'm also very grateful that you didn't have to do this. So thank you for like having me be a part of this, and like in a way I feel kind of selfish talking about this thing that I'm doing because you also make great things, and like my son asked me who you talking to, and I told him about you and you twisting your ankle and then running like 80 miles. He's like, that guy sounds awesome. I was like, he is.
Either awesome or stupid. No, no, but like the stuff that what you're doing here is, you know, this is going to affect a whole community. This isn't just, you know, a YouTube channel. This is going to affect actual people and stuff. This is a great cause, man. So I'm definitely honored and happy to know you and have you on here and help with this in any way possible. So hopefully people can be a part of it and, you know, donate some of their some money if they have that available. Go run and send them a clip. And be involved. You know, that's absolutely. So
cool. And this is a chance to get in on like the ground floor on something too. Like who knows if it will go off. Like, but. Yeah, that's it. And like, I'm humbled to like have you be talking to me. Seriously.
Yeah, well, dude, it's anytime, man. I'm happy to help. So check out the links below in the description to Jon's YouTube page, the GoFundMe page as well. Go like and subscribe his channel. Check out, I think you've got some videos on your channel, don't you, of Neil, or was that only on your Instagram you had put on there?
No, I've got one where I went out and filmed him for a day.
Okay.
And I talked about what I'm talking to you about, the process of trying to film a documentary. And then it's like more like it's not filmed like a film, it's filmed like a YouTube video. Like I'm talking about what I'm trying to do, and then I'm showing clips of Neil in this school. And
all right, so I'm gonna get
called Hustle Culture.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll get that link from you, and at the end of the video I'll put a link to that video so you can go check it out and see what Neil's about and see how awesome and passionate he is about what he's doing. So all right, well, thank you, Jon. I appreciate you coming on here and telling us about this awesome opportunity for people to get involved and help actual people in the community. So just thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Dude, thank you for having me. Seriously.
All right, huge thank you to Jon Kuhn for coming on and talking about the foundation there. This sounds like such an awesome opportunity to get involved for some positive change and help some real people. So get involved if you can. I would appreciate it. I know Jon would. Remember, like I said, check out below in the description. You'll see links to the GoFundMe page where you can support the foundation, and also a link to the Hustle Culture video that Jon put together. You can go learn more about Neil. So thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. If you would, just click that subscribe button and also the little bell, and you'll get future notifications about videos that I put out. I would appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow.